السيدات والسادة، الآن أريد أن أقدم لكم ملخص عن جدول اليوم. سيكون لدينا 20 مباراة بأوزان مختلفة. 49 كيلوغرام، 56 كيلوغرام، 64 كيلوغرام، 75، 91 كيلوغرام. أما في المرحلة الثانية التي ستقام على الساعة 7 مساء ستكون المباريات لنفس الأوزان التي كانت في المرحلة الأولى. أريد أن أقدم فرصة أيضا لأشكر جميع القائمين على نجاح هذه البطولة، بطولة العالم للملاكمة AIBA الدوحة 2015. شكرا لجميع الحضور، نتمنى لكم مشاهدة طيبة.
And welcome to day 3 here at AIBA World Boxing Championship. You're in for a great one today, featuring 40 bouts on both ring A and ring B, 120 rounds of exciting AIBA boxing. The best of the best who will be fighting it out in the ring, representing their countries, their pride and passion for world championship boxing. Over 200 top caliber boxers trying to earn a spot to compete for their countries next year in the Olympic Games. So welcome one and all to AIBA World Boxing Championship.
David?
Hi Alex, it's Andre.
Hello, how are you?
Good, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, that's, is that me? Is that me? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. So I think pack here. Hello everybody and welcome back to Doha, where we're into day 3 of the World Championships, all the way through for another week or so to finals night, and already the draw is starting to take shape. I'm Alex Steeman, I'm joined by David Price, who is a heavyweight professional, and indeed he's been to the championships before twice, a Commonwealth gold medalist and indeed an Olympic bronze medalist as well. We've whittled away the draw. We've got 10 afternoon bouts coming up for you live from Ring A, another 10 available over on Ring B, and indeed 10 evening bouts to come as we look back on some of the highlights from yesterday. David, the draw starting to take shape now. The number 1 and 2 seeds are in action this afternoon and this evening. The big boys are in town.
That's right, things are really starting to shape up now, Alex. The tournament is warming up nicely. I think we've seen some fantastic action yesterday in Ring A, yesterday evening. And now we've got plenty to look forward to today.
Very much so. Well, we saw some terrific stuff yesterday. You're seeing some of the highlights from that as well. The little Venezuelan Paul Fignol, one of the stars of the show. Elmo Abdurrahimov, the Uzbek, one of several Uzbek fighters in action at these championships, went through as well. We saw some terrific bouts. We saw some stoppages as well. Umir Marcial of the Philippines, more on that to come at welterweight, and also the big super heavyweight Mo Arui with a third round stoppage of Munoz. We've had a few knockouts so far from the big boys.
Yeah, as we're moving through the weight divisions, we're starting to see more explosive punches come into play, and the result has been a few more stoppages, and that may be the case as we continue onwards.
There we saw the European champion going through. Sean McComb also going through. Stanionis was the man you saw there, the AIBA champion. He actually beat Adam Nolan, the Irishman, who probably considered himself a bit unlucky the way that bout unfolded.
Yeah, he probably will. I was of the opinion that Nolan had done enough to win just completely by his work rate throughout the contest, but the judges seen it the other way.
And Nelson, the big American, there we see some of his highlights. He was seen off in the end, and that small American team of 4 has now been whittled down to 2, and we're going to see Josh Temple in action a bit later on.
Yeah, it's come down to the final 2 American boxers, which they'll be disappointed with, but the 2 they've got left in have looked impressive so far. Well, Temple has most definitely scored a fantastic victory over the Pakistan boxer on Tuesday. Great left hook to finish the bout, so we'll be keeping a keen eye on him.
Yeah, a keen eye, all eyes in fact on that man. A special guest in town, that is Manny Pacquiao, boxing superstar, hero to the people of the Philippines. And what a moment for some of the Philippine fighters in action. In fact, our very first bout up, Logan Layton in action. It's the Philippines against the Mexicans. There can't be any more inspiration for a Philippine boxer than seeing that man in town.
Oh no, you couldn't have timed it any more perfect, could you? Manny Pacquiao arrives in town, and the first contest he's going to watch is one of his fellow countrymen from the Philippines, and he is an absolute national hero over there. You know, he's a senator, or he's in Congress, or he's a politician over there. That's how much the people really love him, and it's going to be interesting to see Ladon from Philippines in the first bout and see how he performs with his hero in front of him.
I wonder if he went down to the dressing rooms just to wish them well. And interestingly, of course, he in the professional boxing world, he became known as the Mexican assassin, didn't he? Pacquiao beating the likes of Marquez and Barrera Morales, I think, once upon a time. Too. We've got that classic national clash coming up.
Yeah, bit of rivalry, and I was actually just thinking about Manny Pacquiao's previous encounters with Mexican fighters, and it's ironic in a way that the light flyweight from the Philippines is going to be facing a Mexican himself this afternoon.
They saw the little Japanese fighter Tomoya Sugoi warming up He's in action first up in Ring B. That's a bout that we're not covering. Harvey Horn, there you can see, European medalist. He's up against Vasily Igor off the number 4 seed. That's a tough draw. Harvey Horn, he had a tough one in the first round. Doesn't get any easier for him coming up.
No, it doesn't, but the fact that he came through a tough first bout against a really good Indian boxer, he's got to give him a lot of confidence going forward, and he'll be heading into his bout with a lot of belief that he can do the job. He performed really well, and hopefully he'll get better as the tournament progresses.
That's going to be coming up in Ring B. Of course, if you want to see, there will be selected bouts you may want to see in the other ring. You can do so on AIBA.org. There's 2 ring coverage for the first time in a boxing championships. We're live though throughout this afternoon for you, covering Ring A, and that's where all the number 1 seeds are about to take their chance. And it's the entry of the Cubans as well as the top seeds, and everyone always wants to see how the Cubans get on.
Yeah, the Cubans have long been the top nation in amateur boxing from around the 1970s, and they've produced some absolutely fantastic boxers over the years, and that's all eyes are on the Cubans at every tournament they appear at, and that's no different over here.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing in action Yaniel Toledo, who's already qualified for Rio in the events like welter. He's coming up later on. That's our 5th bout. Also the number 1 seed Arlen Lopez, who's in the men's middleweight division. That's bout 7. And then later on the number 1 seed Erislandi Savon, who comes from a famous fighting family. I know you're looking forward to seeing him at heavyweight later on, David.
Yeah, I am looking forward to watching Savon. I watched him in the London Olympics. Real slick boxer. So, you know, I'm looking forward to watching that.
Manny Pacquiao in town as well. He'll be eagerly looking forward to this, our very first bout of the afternoon for you in the men's light fly. That's up to 49 kg. That means there's Joselito Velasquez in action. The number 1 seed from Mexico. Here he comes to the red corner. We've already seen terrific support for the Mexicans over the last couple of days, David.
Yeah, and we're seeing it again right next to us again, turning out in force. It's fantastic for the Mexican boxers. Really going to spur them on while they're a long way from home.
And here's a man who will have the hopes of the Philippine nation as well as perhaps the desires of Manny Pacquiao on his shoulders, behind him with a following wind, and that is Rogan Ledley. The number 17 ranked AIBA boxer. And from Vigo City will head on towards the blue corner in the very first bout here this afternoon. Fantastic atmosphere they have already. Looking forward to this one. Now we're into the second round, which is important to say as well. The better boxers still here, although we did have a day of shocks yesterday, particularly in the lightweight division. 1 or 2 of the big names are already on the way home.
Representing Ukraine is Mikola Karakula.
Rogan Ladin, plowing to all corners of the ring. Something of an amateur tradition, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just to acknowledge the judges that, you know, you're a respectful person in the ring, and hopefully, you know, they can side with you, I suppose.
Well, the Mexican fans to our right already on their feet, and the marketing men and women and the administrators have been handing out big inflatable gloves to the fans here today, so they're able to thump those together to make more noise and to lend their support as we're about to get the afternoon underway. By the way, Yang Jiag from Mongolia and Suboy from Japan is the other bout taking place over in ring B. We'll keep you alert to the result of that one as and when. Here we go. Bell rings. And perhaps unsurprisingly with Manny in town, it's an aggressive start from Laden.
Head up. Mexico, head up.
Southpaw to boot.
Philippines slapping.
Velasquez with the attempted body shot too. Oh, lovely left hand that from Laden.
Yeah, a solid punch straight away from Laden to let Velasquez know it doesn't matter to him whether he's #1 seed. He's here to do a job himself.
And of course, Laden has the perhaps advantage of the fact that he's already fought so far. He overcame the Argentinian southpaw Leandro Blanc in the first round, so he's had a taste of the World Championships already.
Yeah, and that can sometimes be an advantage for a boxer where he's already got going, hasn't been waiting around the hotel all week to start the tournament, and he's landing some really good shots already.
Yeah, it's a good body shot that from Velasquez, but the faster hands early on coming in from Laden, no doubt about it.
I like the look of Laden already, Alex. He's really sharp on his feet and his punches are explosive.
Just needs to be careful that he gets back out of range from those fast, hard counters from Velasquez.
Velasquez going to the body well there, and a big counter left hook there, really good shot.
That was a big punch. That stopped Laden in his tracks. And again, and the Mexican is warming up.
He's warming into it nicely, and really solid punches from both of these light flyweights. Good body shots again there from Velasquez.
You just sense that Laden's fast start is just being checked by Velasquez. Oh, monstrous body shot again from the Mexican.
Put everything into that punch and punch through the target. So Laden will be feeling these body shots.
Blistering start from the man from the Philippines. And he looked up the advantage in speed. There's another good 1-2 combination, ending up with a straight left hand. This is going to be very interesting to see how this bout progresses through the end of the second and then into the third round. So you just sense the strength of Velasquez might just start to tell.
Laden stepped out of range really well then and attempted the left-hand counter. It just missed.
Oh, this is a terrific appetizer for what's to come.
It's just landed then, so that's the one Laden's looking for.
It was an excellent start from Laden, but Velasquez came right back into it, probably landed the meteor shots. Good to see how they scored that one after such a good start from the Filipino. Laden gets it on all 3 scorecards.
Yeah, I think the fast start caught the judges' eyes, even though Velasquez did come back into it in the middle part of the round, and then Laden landed some meaty looking straight left hands towards the end of the round, so it was a good start from the Philippine boxer.
Both of these boxers have been in really good shape early on this season. Velasquez with a gold medal at the Pan American Games, a silver as well at the American Confederation Championships, while a couple of silvers for Laden already in 2015 in the Asian Confederations tournament as well as the Asia Games. So they're in good shape and they've provided quite a spectacle in the first round.
Velasquez on the front foot, trying to put the pressure on.
Oh, good punch.
He is walking onto these counter left hands, which Laden is looking for.
You sense if Laden can just keep to his boxing, timing and make sure he's moving his feet, this is definitely a bout he can win.
Yeah, it's definitely winnable. I think his footwork is the key. Take that step back.
In and out again. That left hand's a menace, isn't it?
Yeah. That's his money punch.
Step back. Step back.
Velasquez has been in terrific form in the WSB. He won 5 of his 6 bouts in the recent edition of that, the Mexican Guerreros. And the second round, very much following the pattern of the first. Fast start again from Ladden.
Yeah, Velasquez needs to pick the tempo up or the round's going to slip away from him. Can't really pin Ladden down at the moment. That's where he needs to work, Velasquez, when he's inside.
Oh, what a shot.
He's walking onto that left hand most of the time.
That was one of the hardest punches I think that Ladden has landed so far, that straight left hand.
They look like big punches for a small man.
And Velasquez just can't get off. He can't land his shot so far in this round, unlike a strong finish to the first. He's got a minute to go in this second.
This is a great round for Ladden so far. There's a warning as well for Velasquez, which won't help his cause.
No, well, that may well have another impact on the scorecard. So it's an uphill battle for the #1 seed. A couple of punches landing slightly out of distance for Velasquez.
Ladden seems to have gotten his tactics spot on today. Moving in and out with the feet and landing that big left hand he has.
I must admit, David, after that strong surge at the end of the first round from Velasquez, I did fear for Ladden as the fight progressed. It's been the exact opposite. He's getting better and better.
He is. He's the one putting pressure on Velasquez a lot of the time as well.
And he finishes on top. That was a dominant round from Rogan Ladden. I think unsurprisingly, he swept the scorecards, and look at that. The fact that he had a warning, the Mexican, a 3-point lead going into the final round, and the #1 seed is on the brink of going out.
Last 3 minutes.
Yes, that was a slip there from Velasquez, but throughout the round, Ladden got his tactics spot on, like I said, and that left hand's paying dividends for him.
Okay? Ang ginagawa mo, tama na na. Dagdagan mo ng sipag, dagdagan mo ng siga. Walang kapoy, walang bangon. Okay? Last 3 minutes.
Well,
okay? Last 3 minutes. Good luck. Good defense.
There you hear it. Last 3 minutes.
The third and final round.
Here we go then. Rogan Ladden is 3 minutes away from creating a little piece of history here.
Great body shot there from Ladden. What a fighter that he came back with. Really impressive stuff this from Ladden.
He is boxing out of his skin.
What a performance. Perfect timing again with that step back and the counter left hand, and he's got it off to a T, he really has.
Lovely body shot there as well from Rogan Ladden. Just goes to show you, doesn't it, how inspiration and confidence plays such a big part in any boxer.
Oh yeah. It will definitely have brought the best out of him, having Manny Pacquiao in the stands watching this performance, but it's been a dominant performance. He's absolutely dominated this contest.
I must admit, through the first round I thought we were going to have a really close, tight contest. Who could have expected this from the Filipino? dominated one of, on paper, the best boxers in the tournament in this division.
Velasquez just doesn't seem to have an answer for the style and the tactics that Ladden's employed.
Less than a minute to go. Velasquez, in 2 previous World Championships, hasn't gone beyond the first round, and it looks like he's making an exit here again.
Great left hand again from Ladden. That really is a brilliant shot he's thrown.
And the Mexican fans still in full voice, trying to cheer on their man, encourage him to the very last. There was a body shot in there that made Ladden wins.
Yeah, I think the only success Velasquez has had has been through the body.
And there goes the bell, and it's a salute from Rogan Ladden. And well, he might look up to the big seats at the top of the stand, because that's where his man, the people's man from the Philippines, has been watching that performance. And surely back home, as well as in Manny's seat, they are delighted with that. That is one of the shocks of the tournament so far, and perhaps one of the performances in this division so far.
Yeah, definitely one of the performances of the tournament. He's taken a #1 seed out, which will go down well with his fellow 49-kilogram contestants, because he's eliminated one of the main danger men.
We await official confirmation, but he was 3 points up going into that, and it looked like he won the last round as well. Here's confirmation.
الفائز بالنقاط على الحلبة ألف.
In ring A, the winner on points in the blue corner, representing the Philippines, Rogan.
Can you believe it? Manny applauds, you know you've done well. The #1 seed in the light flyweight division is out. Philippines have a boxer into the 3rd round of the championships. They've only got 2 boxers in total, and one of them has made a bit of history. His debut, what a championship first that is for him, Jim.
Yeah, brilliant performance. It may be a shock to a lot of people, but you know, he will have gone into that contest really believing he could beat Velasquez, and he has. He's done the job. And the added bonus of his hero watching in the stands as well. So some of the shots he landed, he took a good left hook there, but some of that straight left hands that Ladden was landing in the contest were perfectly executed.
And it was good to see him, after maybe the last minute of the first round, it was good to see him get back to his boxing. He threatened to be derailed by the top Mexican. If he can employ that style, which he did for, say, 90% of that contest, he's going to be quite a weapon.
Oh yeah, he is, because his footwork was spot on as well, in and out. He was moving in and out at speed, landing a shot and moving away. And if he can stick to them tactics, yeah, he's going to take some beating.
Here we go with the next then. Poland's David Jagodzinski. Jagodzinski making his way into the red corner.
In the blue
22-year-old.
corner, representing Bulgaria, Tinko Banabakov.
Bulgaria's Tinko Banabakov will be his opponent. Already been a busy man in 2015, the 21-year-old. And part of that outstanding European Championship Bulgarian team. This is one pretty tight on paper in terms of the rankings. Banabakov will fancy to win it. And the other boxers coming into the other ring. And there'll be British interest here. Harvey Horn up against Vasily Igorov, the #4 seed in the championship. So we'll keep you posted on what happens over there.
The judges assigned to ring A are now
For both
displayed on the
Russian
scoreboard.
and British fans.
أما الحكم فهو من منغوليا.
Here we are,
The
look,
referee
in
in
ring
ring
A,
A,
which is
representing Mongolia, is Konstantin
and the bouts that
Khrushchev.
we're covering throughout the afternoon session, the second of 10 bouts that we have for you live from Doha, and it's Jagodzinski against Banabakov. Referee checking the gloves, calling both boxers forward. And here we go. Jagodzinski punched his corner post with intent as he comes out for this opening round. Very different physiques, I think, to the two boxers we've just seen, David, already in the ring.
Yeah, the Bulgarian Banabakov is obviously the tall, slim boxer, stand-up boxer with typical textbook style. And Jagodzinski's not much different. He's just a little bit shorter. He's trying to move his head as he marches forward to give Banabakov something to think about.
And Banabakov, so far, is managing to get himself out of range. Jagodzinski's just reaching with his punches, and he can't quite close the gap yet.
Yeah, Banabakov's just taking that backward step to get himself out of range.
Yeah, that cute, short little counter punch. Not much sort of weight in them, but neat little counter punch. What's the problem? Has he got a gum shield? Or a cut? Yeah, a slight nick on the left eye already. Well, that's the last thing he needed. Didn't see too much blood. That's an early issue for Banabakov. And there you see, oh, what a moment for Ladin. What a moment for a young man.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. He must be absolutely over the moon. Not only has he just reduced the performance and took the #1 seed out, but now he's standing next to his hero.
Well, listen, you and I would love to be in that position, to have a photo or an autograph, never mind a fellow countryman. Fantastic. Absolute once-in-a-lifetime stuff, that, for Ladin, and he produced the performance of his life to progress to the next round. Having a good look at this cut, meanwhile, here in bout 2. I think they're okay. They're actually allowing the cutman to work on it.
Yeah, it's a concern for Banabakov because the contest's only about 30 seconds old, and so it was off a straight left.
It was a punch.
Yeah, from Jagodzinski.
There he goes again, trying to close the gap, and he's like a shark. He almost smells the blood. Jagodzinski. He's up against a guy with talent as well. Let's not forget, Banabakov was one of those 4 medalists at the European Championships. He was one of the 3 that got bronzes. So he's a progressing fighter at the age of 21. He'd be fancied to win this one.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep moving on his feet for the whole 3 minutes of the round, because Jagodzinski is just waiting for him to set his feet, and then he can let his own shots go. But while he's moving, he's less likely to be caught.
Nice to see Jagodzinski trying to come forward behind the jab. He's closing the gap, but he is throwing a jab in between.
Yeah, I like that about him. He's stepping in behind a pretty solid jab. And obviously the straight left caught Banabakov earlier on.
Banabakov's trying to counter and punch. He's just taking that little step back, throwing the short counter punches. Not much behind them, but enough to score.
Yeah, Banabakov, he's strictly a boxer. He doesn't look like the strong type. So his boxing skills are what have got him the medals in the past, and that's what he's working on in this contest. He's boxing well off the back foot.
He's been a busy boy already. In 2015, he's been to 6 different tournaments. He didn't manage to win 1 off them earlier on this year.
Jagodzinski's going to become frustrated with this movement from Banabakov. because he hasn't stopped moving his feet for the whole round.
Sort of little scoring punches from Banabakov, but intense pressure coming from Jagodzinski, and it's Jagodzinski who's rewarded by the judges.
Yeah, I think what we've seen so far, Alex, is that the judges do prefer the aggression of the come forward boxer. When you think about the contest with Adam Nolan in last night, that was another example, and I think that's what the judges may prefer at this level.
And is that the sort of thing that teams and the coaches on teams will be aware of and necessarily sort of cut their cloth or adopt styles for their fighters as a tournament develops?
Oh yeah, they'll obviously be aware and have their own opinions on what the judges prefer. And yeah, they'd have to adjust accordingly because they want results at the end of the day. But Banabakov's never going to be a come forward fighter. I think we've established that by the first round, unless he does something completely different, and it'd surprise me to see that.
And I think if you're Jagodzinski or you're in the Polish corner, you'd probably say, you know, Banabakov is sort of flicking out punches. Just try and, if you can, try and close the gap and walk through him. Just to land your own.
Yeah, walk through him. But because Banabakov's moving from left to right so much, then he's having to chase him, and he's gone before the chance to set his feet and let his own shots go like that. So it is frustrating for Jagodzinski, but he took the first round on the judges' card, so.
Well, that's a good strong jab as well from the pole.
That's what he needs to do, step in behind that jab. Like he is, good work from Jagodzinski.
He looks like he's getting more confident all the while, the Polish fighter. He got to the quarterfinals of the European Championships in the summer. He actually lost to Harvey Horn, who's in action in the other round as we speak against the number 4 seed.
Banabakov has got really good footwork. He's got good judgment of distance. He just hasn't got enough strength.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. He's only 21, he's quite tall. Whether he'll sort of grow into that, maybe develop into a flyweight and beyond in time.
Yeah, I think he probably ends up a bantamweight eventually, or he's got the height and he can fill out into that frame.
That was a lovely uppercut.
Yeah, he's landing good, clean shots, but the question is, are the judges seeing them, or do they prefer, like we said, preferring the come forward aggression of Jagodzinski?
I think he's landed a few more punches in this round, Banabakov. Whether it's enough.
Yeah, I think power and force behind the punch as well comes into play in the judges' eyes. If there's a lot of force behind the punch, then they're more likely to declare it a scoring punch. But if they're just flicked out, then they're likely going to ignore some of them.
Well, the winner of this bout will face Rogan Ladden, who's already created a bit of a stir by knocking out the number 1 seed. And what we've seen so far, you'd fancy Ladden to beat either of these.
Yeah, that was a good right hand there from Banabakov. Rogan Ladden would much more prefer to face Jagodzinski, in my opinion, because I think he's made for Ladden. Whereas Banabakov can make things awkward for anyone because he moves well. He's moving from left to right on the ropes all the time. He doesn't keep still, and it's difficult to pin down.
Well, that top half of the draw is starting to take shape as well. Ladden's already through, faces the winner of this one. Gankiag is already through, faces the winner of Horn Igorov, which is going on. And Horn and Igorov, I mean, that's a really interesting one going on simultaneously. If you see some of the highlights, I mean, talk about the luck of the draw, because those are two boxers who very much fancied to win the tournament full stop.
Yeah, and they've met early on. That's what makes this tournament so interesting.
Yeah, one of them goes out, the number 1 seed's already gone out. Suddenly, in this light flyweight division, things have opened up, and what an opportunity for some of the unheralded boxers the lesser seeds, the unknowns, to suddenly make a name for themselves and grab a medal, if not the big one, the gold.
Round 3.
Here we go then, into the third and final round. And that was another good round for Jagodzinski. You've seen up on your screens, he's won both rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards so far.
Sorry, Alex, I just noticed a great left hook landed by Banabakov there, and he just landed the uppercut. For me, Banabakov could argue he's winning this contest, because not many clean shots have landed at all from Jagodzinski.
We talked about this before, didn't we, about the illusion or the appearance of, or how a fight looks like it's going. Sometimes body language and positivity plays a big part.
Yeah, if someone's coming forward, it looks like they're winning the fight, but if you look a bit further into it, you'll see that if you could appreciate the movement from Banabakov and the clean shots he's landing, and now he's coming forward and pushing Jagodzinski back a little.
A nice little short body shot with the right hand there from Banabakov.
He's taking centre ring now, which instead of moving away all the time, which is better to see. Good counter right hand again there from Banabakov. So this is his best round so far.
Much better round for Tinko Banabakov. Too little, too late though. Is this a style he could have developed in the first round? Would have made a difference?
Yeah, I think it would have. I think it definitely would have, because obviously the come forward style of Jagodzinski has caught the judges' eyes, and it will be interesting to see how they score this round if it continues the way it's going. I think Banabakov's boxed really well, to be honest. I think he'll be disappointed.
Nice little left hook there from the Bulgarian. It's a shame it's just not a bit more pop in his punches there. I think it'd make all the difference to him as a competitor.
Yeah, I think he could do with going on a good strength program to develop his strength, build some power.
Maybe a big bowl of porridge like you enjoyed this morning might be the answer. Here we go then, closing seconds of this third round. There's the final bell. It was a good response from Banabakov, it really was. He put everything together there, but it looks like it may not quite be enough, David.
No, it's not going to be enough to win the contest after losing the first 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards. Well, that left hook was a great shot. I really do think he performed well there, Banabakov, but the style just wasn't enjoyed by the judges at ringside. So we'll see what his reaction's like, because he may well have thought he won that contest.
And we'll have the result for you. That cut earlier and treatment early in the first round slightly delayed this bout beyond the other contest that was taking place simultaneously over in Ring B. That one's finished. We'll bring you the result shortly. Here we have official confirmation of this one.
In Ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Poland, David Jagodzinski.
So you can obviously see Jagodzinski's even surprised he won that.
Jagodzinski, the winner then, and that's a mini upset on a day of upsets in Ring A in the light flyweight division. The number 1 seat's gone, and there are some 20 AIBA rankings between this pair. The lower ranked Jagodzinski just creeps inside the top 10, top 50 I should say. He's gone out. Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao in the warm-up area. lending his support. Plenty of the boxers from all nations grabbing a photo. And news coming through from ring V, David. Bad news for the Brits. Harvey Horn outpointed by the number 4 seed Igorov. The Russians will be happy.
Yeah, they will. The Russians will be happy. Disappointing for the British team. It was a contest against 2 top quality fighters, so someone had to go home disappointed, and unfortunately for Great Britain it was Harvey Horn.
It's going to be a tough assignment, Matt, as we move on.
In the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan,
bantamweight division here. And we have the Kazakh, Kairat Yeraliev, Uzbekistan, 24-year-old, a soldier, and he is marching towards the ring in behind the Uzbek fighter in the blue corner. That's Murodjon Akhmadaliev, and Yeraliev in the red. He's already making his entrance. They're the 2 fighters we're going to cover here in the bantamweight division. Yeraliev versus Akhmadaliev. There is Yeraliev, the 24-year-old. He's got the edge in experience, in age, and in terms of the rankings. He is the number 1 seed, Yeraliev. On paper, he's expected to be that man in the blue.
The judges for ring A are now displayed on the scoreboard.
Referee from Lithuania, judges from China, Argentina, Canada, Sweden, and indeed Great Britain.
The referee in ring A, representing Lithuania, Kęstutis Bogdanovičius.
2 neighbouring countries facing each other then. Bit of a derby match going to go on here.
Yeah, and actually perhaps 2 of the most emerging nations in world boxing at the moment, in all codes.
So looking forward to this one.
Final instructions for the pair of them then. Yeraliev in the red.
Round 1.
Against Akhmadaliev. A couple of bronze medals already this season for the Uzbek fighter, who started aggressively.
It's a nice jab there from Yeraliev. On the back foot as well, throwing it really well on the back foot.
Clubbing over the top left hand from Akhmadaliev as well. Look at this one.
Windmill punching there from the Uzbek, and them type of punches, when you miss with them punches, they're really energy consuming, so we won't be able to throw too many of them.
Oh, look at this. Oh, big right hook landed there from Akhmadaliev.
Akhmadaliev is an aggressive come forward southpaw, which is somewhat of a rarity because the southpaw style usually is a back foot counter puncher at this tournament.
There's another big left hand shot to the body. He looks a bit of a power puncher, this Uzbek.
He does. He's so aggressive with them punches.
I think there's something to be admired and impressed by both of these.
Yeah, Yeraliev's a slick boxer. He's got a fantastic southpaw jab, which is good to see. Like we said yesterday, a lot of southpaws have neglected the jab at this tournament, but Yeraliev is using it well against the fellow left-hander.
Another right hook went in there from Akhmadaliev, and then Yeraliev came back with one of his own. This is a cracking contest.
It's a fantastic bit of defensive work from Yeraliev then as well. Not typical of an Eastern European boxer.
And Yeraliev just thumped a couple of hooks left and right to the body in there as well. There he goes again, 3 of them this time. I noticed one thing, that the Mexicans have come here in force, but the Uzbek fans have as well. They've brought the drums for him, and you can hear them shouting Murodjon for their man. He is giving them something to sing about.
This is fantastic action. Both boxers are holding the feet, just literally using the waist mainly to avoid punches.
It's a massive right and then left hand landing slightly on the inside of the glove there from Akhmadaliev. There's no question Yeraliev's the slightly better boxer of the pair, but Akhmadaliev is thumping home some huge shots.
Like we've seen already today, that sucker judge like that. What a bit of work that was then from Yaraliev. He landed the right hook to the body and then avoided 2 oncoming punches by slipping them in.
And a strong finish to the round from Yaraliev.
What a round that was.
There was more action in that first round than perhaps there is often in 3 rounds of a bout. That was an absolute cracker. Yaraliev. Oh. I'm not surprised because he was all out aggression. He landed some big shots. So the better quality came from Yaraliev, but yeah. I'm not going to argue with that.
No, you couldn't argue with either boxer winning that round.
And
that jab.
Yesterday was a day of shocks in the lightweight division. Here today in bantamweight and indeed the light flies, you see some of those heavy shots going in.
This is a joy to watch, Alex.
Isn't it? Akhmadaliev has just come out and he said to Yaraliev, I don't care who you are, what ranking you've got, I'm going to have a go.
Coming to take it.
Round 2.
Well, Yaraliev is going to have to produce a bit of quality here. He's done that in the WSB, won 3 of his 4 bouts in the recent series. And you can see why, he's so much quality, but Akhmadaliev's just threatening to take him out of his stride. He's not giving him a moment's rest.
Good jabbing again there from Yaraliev.
Well, there was sort of 3 or 4 punches from Yaraliev, and yet the one punch you remember was the big left hook that came on from Akhmadaliev.
He's working his jab nice, Yaraliev. He's keeping Akhmadaliev at bay with that so far in this round. Be interesting to see if Akhmadaliev can sustain the intensity which he's shown in the first round.
And I think that first round further evidence, as you see another big overhand left from Akhmadaliev, further evidence that the come-forward aggressive fighters are being rewarded in these championships.
Yeah. Good body work again from Yaraliev. He's started this round much better.
He really points his toes into the canvas and works from the waist with those punches, the Uzbek fighter. Good jab.
Yeah, that jab's winning him this round for me. Nice defensive work as well from Yaraliev, just riding the punches as they're coming in, and it's great to see that.
Less than a minute to go then in the second. A better round from Yaraliev. He needed it. The 2011 World Championship bronze medalist. He's the man with the quality, the standing, the ranking and the skills. It's not all worked out for him so far.
Akhmadaliev hasn't been as accurate in this round. He's missed with a lot, or caught the gloves, or glanced over the top of Yaraliev's head. So looks like a Yaraliev round for me.
And actually, for moments and several moments of this round, he's actually managed to back Akhmadaliev up.
If you can back a fighter like Akhmadaliev up, then you've got a great chance of winning. He is primarily a come-forward, aggressive fighter.
Heads coming close together, both missing with punches, all trying to throw each other onto the back foot. Good round that. The better of it, I thought, from Yaraliev.
Akhmadaliev's jab even seems to have a lot of power in it, as you've just seen then.
Well, he definitely had his successes in that. The corners getting into it. There's that strong jab from the Kazakh. Guaitu was much, much better in that round. But again, the judges like the work of Akhmadaliev. He's in front. Well, it looks like we could be in for another upset here.
The third and final round.
Akhmadaliev coming out aggressive again. Good, strong jab to the body. Good left hand over the top as well. If you're going to jab to the body, then it's got to be worthwhile, and he's making his jabs to the body worthwhile. He's putting good power behind him.
Well, Akhmadaliev has earned himself a couple of silver medals already so far in 2015. Oh, big left hand that. He's not finishing second here, according to the scorecards.
Great left hand. And the impressive thing is, Yaraliev is really good defensively, and if you can land clean shots on him like that, then you know he's a good defensive fighter. Here we go again.
And he has been to Youth World Championships. He actually finished the silver medalist in that particular event a couple of years ago. So he's making the transition, and he's giving one of the fancies for this event the scrap of his life. Yaraliev just missing there. We've not seen much of that. It's usually so accurate.
I think he is more comfortable if someone's coming on to him. Akhmadaliev just stepping out of range as he's coming in.
Unsurprising if Akhmadaliev is just starting to tire now. He put an awful lot into the first round particularly.
Yeah, both fighters will be feeling the pace of this one. It has been high intensity. The first round was unbelievable.
He's only 20, remember, Akhmadaliev. He turns 21 in November. He's a young guy, just starting to make his way in the seniors.
This will send shockwaves through this weight division.
Very much so. Very much so. Just as we've seen that in the light flies already this afternoon. Final 30 seconds.
Just needs to be a bit careful, Akhmadaliev, with those big windmill left hands. He's not landing them very often, and for me it's a wasted punch. He's better off with his straight left hand. He's missing with it again there, but what a performance that was. And that first round has been the round of the championships so far for me.
It was an absolute belter, wasn't it? Really was, and he set the template. It was the platform for Akhmadaliev to push on, even although he could have arguably lost the second round on the scorecards. It gave him with the incentive and the momentum, and in the end it looks like he's going to progress at the expense of the well-fancied #1 seed. See how marked up Yaraliev is as well. Nose and eyes.
In ring A, the winner on points from the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan, Rajan
Akhmadaliev it is, who moves through to the next round of the competition. Quite incredible. And the #1 seed is out. We've seen 2 seeds in the light fly, now in the bantam. They're gone.
I like the look of Akhmadaliev. He's got a careless way about him. Like, he doesn't care who he's in the ring with. He's gonna do a number on them. He's got that rough and ready way about him, and it's good to see.
And our next bout coming up, as you look back at some of the highlights, Akhmadaliev waits for the winner between Butdi and Jensen. I tell you, Butdi wins that. Akhmadaliev against Butdi is going to be a boot-your-ticket affair.
The next event in
plenty to go before that happens.
In the red corner, representing Thailand, Chachai Butdi.
Chachai Butdi makes his way to the ring. He'll go to the red corner, the 30-year-old who was energetic when he progressed at the expense of the Ukrainian Butsenko in the previous round. And here's Denmark's only representative of these championships, Fredrik Jensen, the 19-year-old. And what a moment for him. What an opportunity for the pair of them as well to progress to the quarter-finals. And that's a real carrot, David, isn't it? Once you see the quarters in sight.
Yeah, you know you're getting to the business end. You're one fight away from a medal guaranteed. So yeah, it's light at the end of the tunnel, you know, from all the training you've done, and these guys will have been preparing for a long time for this tournament, and now the end is in sight as regards to the medal stages.
They're closing in on that, but first this one, business between Butdi and Jensen. In the other ring, by the way, Warawara, Bo Warawara up against Hakan Erseka, bantamweight division. We saw the man from Vanuatu the other night there, didn't we, Warawara? What a story that would be if he could continue.
Oh yeah, he caused an upset a couple of nights ago, and I hope he carries on throughout the tournament, because I like to see the underdog story.
And he came from behind to win that bout the other night. So that's in ring B. We'll keep you posted. Live on your screens, though. We have Butdi in the red against Jensen in the blue. And you can see automatically Jensen much younger. He's 11 years younger than the Thai, but he's a bit taller.
Yeah, he looks young, and he is tall and slim, and let's see how he comes out. Yeah, he's a southpaw, as is Butdi, so two southpaws facing each other again.
You can see the height and reach for the man in blue, and the youngster, he just managed to get away from that left hand from Chachai Butdi.
Some great boxers have came out of Thailand over the last 15 years or so, or beyond.
Yeah, very much so.
Olympic champions and obviously professional fighters as well, so it'll be interesting to see what Butdi has in his locker.
He looks confident though, Jensen.
Yeah, he wants to take the centre of the ring, get his jab working.
And he was trying to counter with the right hook, and then immediately with the left hand as well. Of Jensen, maybe the slight edge in speed, not much in it. Good shot to the body, that. Jensen's already progressed to a couple of quarter-finals so far this year. Butdi went to the body, just given an acknowledgement to keep his head up from the referee. That's Gerardo Poggi, the Argentinian.
So Jensen's primary defence is his feet to step away. And he's thrown his shots with a bit of venom.
He's always keen to have an answer, it seems. I wonder if that'll create an opportunity for Butdi.
Good left hand landed there from Butdi. Jensen took it well enough. He's getting a bit reckless with his attacks, Jensen, for me though. He's putting his head down and just swinging, and the referee's telling him to keep his head up there.
Closing seconds then, 30 to go in the first. Butti with a big left hand.
Right hook there from Butti as well.
Yeah, that was a nice sharp punch, wasn't it? I don't know if it started as a jab, but he turned it into a short right hook. Sometimes do that as a boxer, you sometimes sort of maneuver and change during a punch.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You want your opponent to think one thing's coming, and then you want to surprise him with something else, and that's the whole purpose of showing feints, and either with your hands, your head, or your feet.
And you're looking back on the highlights as the corner of Butti. They've got the soaked towel out, sort of sending a little bit of spray onto him just to cool him down. The arena's quite cool anyway. I tell you, you'd have to get the amount of water right on the towel, otherwise you could get that manoeuvre wrong.
Oh yeah. You like that, these coaches at the tournament are waving the towel in the corner's face.
Yeah, it seems to be the method of the moment. Well, that first round was somewhat disputed, but two of the three judges preferred the work of Chachai Butti. Probably wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, it was another one of them, which is probably not the easiest to score.
Stop! Stop! Watch your hair, okay? Box!
Nice counter, sharp counter there from Butti.
Jensen throws his punches with spite, but it's as though it's too aggressive. He's losing his shape as he's throwing them.
Well, Butti, the man they call fresh, is definitely the one with the experience, the age of 30. This is his 5th World Championships, and he created a little bit of history when 2 years ago he was Thailand's first ever medalist at the World Championships. An emotional success for him that was.
Good left hand landed by Butti a couple of moments ago, and it was probably the most eye-catching shot of the contest so far. So Jensen needs to hold his hands and keep his chin down like he's doing now. Good speed in Jensen's shots, but they're not landing clean enough to persuade the judges, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought going on in there.
Both trying to draw each other's leads.
I think at the moment this round, inside the final minute of it, I think at the moment in this round, quite a few of Jensen's punches are landing on the gloves. Every time Butti lands a punch, there's a big howl and a roar from the far side of the arena.
That can have an impact in a quiet arena, which it is at the minute. The judges will hear that loud and clear, and if they didn't see the punch, they'll believe that it's landed because of the response from the crowd. That didn't land, but it got a response from the crowd, so...
Yeah, so you fancy Butti was more in charge of that one than the difficult to score first.
just snapping the head back there of Jensen. And he said yesterday on one of the contests with the taller boxers who, you know, with maybe longer and slimmer boxers, the punches do seem to appear more eye-catching.
There's confirmation. Butti clear by both rounds on 2 of the scorecards, level on the other judges' scorecards. I can understand that. I just have Butti in front, but I can understand that. Here we go then, final round of this one. Chachai Butti of Thailand in the red. Denmark's sole representative of these championships, Fredrik Jensen, the youngster, in the blue. I think he's acquitted himself well, Jensen. Real encouragement for the future.
Oh yeah, and like a couple of boxers we've seen who probably go through the weights. He's young enough too. He's got good footwork, fast punches, good hand speed. Just not quite accurate enough today. But he's more than hold his own.
Yeah, and up against a guy who's a veteran of World Championships in Butti.
Okay, stop.
That was good work from Jensen. Good straight 1-2.
Jensen, a student of carpentry when he's away from the ring. He's not quite been able to chisel away at Butti. He has tried. Oh, fantastic. Was that a jab from Butti?
Straight right jab. He's landed it again there.
And credit to Butti as well, because he's been up against the guy with, you know, tall, quite fast, long arms, young and energetic, and he's found a way that's worked for him this afternoon.
He has, and he's just kept his cool and not panicked. From the first round, Jensen came out throwing fast punches at him, and you know, with a lot of spite and a little bit reckless, and Butti just stayed calm, concentrated on what he had to do. And now it's going to pay dividends at the end.
Final minute then. Fast attack. He's really committing, Jensen, now. I think that's the reason he fell off balance there.
Yeah, he's going in over the front foot with his shots. Like I said earlier, he's losing his shape, and it's because he's fallen over his front foot a little bit. Maybe because the opponent's shorter, he's trying to punch down. It was better.
Butti, a soldier back in Thailand. You can see he's taken this fast-paced contest in his stride.
And he's used his own jab to good effect against the taller boxer, which has been good to see. Timed it well.
And he's delighted. He thinks he's done enough, Butti. Good experience that for Fredrik Jensen. He acquitted himself particularly well against an experienced Thai. It looks as though Butti will progress to the next round.
I think Jensen thinks he's won as well, so it's like I said, the contests can be difficult to score. Jensen probably thrown the more punches in that contest, but Butti was more accurate for me.
And some of the action you can see Jensen committing, not quite connecting with a few of his punches. The other contest just coming to an end. Bo Wara typically giving and taking with equal measure. We'll bring you the result of that one in due course. But here we go in our main televised bouts.
السيدات والسادة الفائز بنقاط على الحلبة ألف
In ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Thailand, Chanchan Butti.
Butti is through to the quarterfinals. And that sets up an appetizing bout with Akhmadaliev. That is going to be an absolute crackerjack of a bout.
I know who my money's on, Alex. But styles make fights. Butti could be a tricky one.
Yeah, do you think Butti's slightly classier moves or the energy and the aggression of Akhmadaliev?
For me, it's Akhmadaliev, I think. From what I've seen so far, I think Akhmadaliev's got a great chance of going all the way.
And as we wait the announcement in the other corner, I'll bring that to you live. Bo Warawara Vanuatu against Hakan Ersekir of Qatar, number 4 seed. It goes the way of Ersekir. And the Qataris have got a boxer into the quarterfinals, which is great for the home team. They've got a couple of boxers who are going to appear tomorrow in the third round as well, or second or third round.
Yeah, good return for the Qatar team. I think if they win a medal, they kind of already won many medals at the World Championship, so it'd be big news.
Next up, we're going to move into the light welterweight division for you. You can see some of those boxers just starting to warm up, and the stage is set for the Cubans. Unsurprisingly, number 1 seeds left, right and centre in multiple divisions. And that South American continent represented by genuine quality. There's confirmation of our first
The
bout.
next event in ring A is a 64-kilogram light welterweight bout. In the red corner, representing Cuba, Yasniel Toledo Lopez.
The number 1 seed, Yasniel Toledo, the 26-year-old. He's already qualified for Rio, David. So this is just about tournament experience, but also an opportunity to win a gold at a World Championships.
Yeah, which no boxer in the right mind would be willing to pass up. So you can understand he's an Olympian, but the World Championships in a boxer's mind are probably a close second to the biggest tournament you can win as an amateur. So to be a world champion and an Olympic champion, that would really be something else. So you can understand why he's here.
Yeah, he's already had a couple of goals. He's not quite been able to bag the big one in 3 previous attempts. He's looking to make it 4-time lucky through these championships. He's up against Abdelhak Atakni in this light welterweight division. He is representing Turkmenistan, just one of 3. Representing Morocco, I should say. I beg your pardon. And he's already been performing well throughout 2015 so far. Big test for him though on paper. He's in the blue corner, the Moroccan.
The judges for ring are now displayed on the scoreboard.
And Irish referee Mickey Gallagher with the judges from Sri Lanka, Uzbekistan, Italy, Slovakia,
representing Ireland,
Vietnam.
Gallagher.
Final pat. I thought that was a pat on the shoulder. It's more like a slap, wasn't it, for Toledo?
Round 1.
And guess what? He's a Cuban southpaw. And there must be, for other boxers from other countries, an element of intimidation whenever the Cubans are in town. Their reputation precedes them, David.
Yeah, of course it does. And boxers are probably being told throughout their amateur careers that the Cubans are likely going to be the toughest they can come across, and Russia. I mean, I remember when I was an amateur, at one point, if an English boxer was drawn a Russian against a Russian boxer, then they may as well have thrown the towel in before the bout had even started, because the Russians have been built up that much by the coaches. But that changed as we progressed, and you know, we ended up beating a lot of the Russians.
Absolutely right, and capable of beating the Cubans now as well. It's been a good fast start here from Toledo. And as has always been the case, the bouts we've covered from the championship so far, he really is digging in some of those hooks to the body.
Yeah, thrown to the body really well, and he's obviously a back foot southpaw boxer, which is typical of the Cuban style.
Low hands as well, relying on reactions, his speed. There's another left hook to the body from Toledo.
He's just touching, attacking me with the jab, waiting for the response, and then he's going to throw his own power shot.
And one of those was a left hand right through the guard, the biggest punch of the bout so far. Attack, and he did land with a little shot of his own there, a hook.
Thrown to the body well, the Cuban, but he's leading off with a right hook to the body, which can be dangerous. He's better sticking to his jab and then throwing shots off the jab.
There's another roundhouse left hook to the body from Toledo. He's been doing that all this round. And Takni unable to get closer, rough him up yet.
He's a tidy boxer, Toledo, which you'd expect. He's the number one seed. That was a good left hand to the chest. This is a good shot to use.
And there's a bit of everything, isn't there? He's throwing left and right hooks to the body, an uppercut through the guard. He's throwing straight lefts, and he's throwing slightly roundhouse lefts as well around the guard.
Got good balance apart from that slip. He's nicely balanced.
Well, Atakni, a dual national champion in his native Morocco, but he's got his hands full here. Terrific start that for Toledo, and that's confirmed on your scorecards. He wins all three in the eyes of the judges.
Over the years of watching Cuban boxers, in my opinion, they've always just done what they've had to do to win according to the opponents in front of them, and then you'll see the very best of them when they've got someone really good in front of them. That's tended to be the case, in my opinion, over the years. So Toledo boxing within himself, doing what he has to do, and he'll step it up accordingly.
Second down.
Here we go then into the second round. Second, the position that Toledo has finished in each of the last two renewals of the World Championships in 2013 and indeed in 2011. A quarter-finalist in 09 as well. He feels he's due to bag the big one.
He's going to want to go all the way this year.
Lovely balance, good footwork, speed from Toledo.
Nice footwork in the corner to get himself out of danger.
Oh, that was just beautiful. You see that? He dug in a right hook to the body, and then he ducked under the counter shot from Atakni.
And Atakni's counter-attack was aggressive. He had purpose in it, and Toledo stayed calm, just slipped under it.
And that was almost, it was almost as if he was practicing, almost as if it's just second nature to him.
Yeah, he will have practiced and practiced these particular set pieces and moves which he's performing, and they will be second nature.
That's the sort of work piece that you do on the pads, perhaps.
That's exactly it. The rehearsal. He's probably been doing that in the changing rooms before this contest.
Watch your hands. Watch your hands in there.
Halfway through the second round, slightly more toe-to-toe, and I think that's because Toledo's just choosing to fight this way.
Holding. Step back.
Attackney isn't going to roll over without a fight. He's a proud man. He's just landed a good right hand there.
Real explosive combination that from Toledo.
It's one of his better shots, is that right up to the body, and he does lead off with it. It's like I said, can open you up to a counter, but Attackney hasn't seen it.
A couple of warnings from Mickey Gallagher, the referee, about low blows from Toledo. He's thrown so many body punches, it'd be no surprise if there's a couple on the board about it.
It's a nice combination from Toledo. Finishing off with a straight left hand.
Well, we've been here, this is the third day now, David, the fifth session that we've been to. I think it's fair to say this is one of the brightest talents we've seen so far.
Yeah, he's up there with the more impressive of the boxers we've seen. And like I said, I think he is boxing within himself.
Oh, that's a good effort from Attackney. Yeah. Much better.
Great round for Attackney, but obviously, in my eyes, Toledo's round. An improvement on the first from Attackney.
Yeah, it was a mini cameo at the end of it. I think the fact that he enjoyed success, that's why he raised his glove to the crowd, but no doubt Toledo dominated by and large, and that's confirmed on the scorecards, where he's won both rounds convincingly so far. And here's some of the action. They saw that body shot coming in from Toledo.
Oh, it was a lovely shot.
Test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What an accurate shot that is. You can see he's worked on that over the years.
Lovely to see him not move. He doesn't stick around to admire his work. He's already thinking about either the next part of the combination or avoiding the return.
Yeah. It's like chess.
The third and final round.
He's just been admiring his work on the big screen in between rounds, which shows how comfortable he must be.
Yeah, some terrific stuff. This guy is a joy to watch. Underway then into the third and final round. Yasniel Toledo of Cuba. #1 seed up against Attackney of Morocco, who has got the short straw in no uncertain terms here.
Dancing down from side to side now, Toledo. So much rhythm in his work.
It's better from Attackney.
Lovely right off there from Toledo.
Yes, and that visibly sent the spray off the top of the head of Attackney into the lights up above.
You've got a feel for Attackney because he's came in with every belief he can do something, but he just can't deal with the skill and the movement of Toledo.
Just a slip. No surprise, Toledo's brimming with confidence. He has done from the start. I think he might have heard him there, Toledo.
And his footwork is so smooth and looks effortless, almost like he's ice skating around the ring at times. Lovely work again.
Fantastic 1-2, ending with a strong left hand through the guard. And Toledo Toledo's able just to try everything. He's going right through the arsenal here.
He's slick, there's no doubt about that. Showed the jab to the body there. Fooled attacked me into thinking it was a body attack, and then came over the top to the head with the left hand.
Well, Toledo bumped into a certain Vasyl Lomachenko in the semi-finals of the Olympic Games. No surprise that he foundered against that stellar boxer.
With that movement as well from Toledo. Yeah, this has been a joy to watch.
He was terrific, absolutely terrific. And even Atakni knows that that was simply mission impossible against Yasniel Toledo.
Good boy, good boy.
And not only will he be among the favourites for the gold medal, he's a prospect for boxer of these championships too on that evidence.
Yeah, and I think there's more to come from him.
Okay, boxer? Yeah. Okay, Cuba? Good guy.
Well, he's already qualified for Rio, but that courtesy of the WSB where he won 7 of his 8 bouts. But that World Championship gold has eluded him thus far.
In ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Cuba, Yasniel Toledo.
Well, Atakni was offering up a prayer before then. He sort of looks to the heavens after the decision. I don't think he can have any complaints whatsoever. We've seen a performance of real quality here, David.
Yeah, exceptional quality, which is what you do come to expect from the Cuban boxers. And Atakni is good in his own right. You know, he's nothing wrong with Atakni at all. He's a good, solid boxer, but he just ran into something a little bit special there today. But he can come again.
And we're just hearing another result from the other ring. Pat McCormack of Team GB, that's another member of that squad who's been knocked out today. It's Dunetsev who's gone through to the quarterfinals. And Dunetsev, the Russian, a real talent, excellent run at the Europeans. And I think that's 2 Eastern Europeans have done for the Brits in Harvey Hall and Pat McCormack today.
المباراة السادسة على الحلبة ألف وزن 64 كيلوغرام.
The next opinion wing A.
Next up in the light welterweight division, we stick at 64 kg. And this one between Vanes Bachkov of Armenia against Aziz Bebetov,
In the red
the
corner,
fighter from
representing
Turkmenistan.
Armenia, Vanes Bachkov.
بالركن الأزرق من تركمانستان.
In the blue corner, representing Turkmenistan, Aziz Bebetov.
There he is, the man from Turkmenistan. Only 3 boxers representing that nation at these championships. And the 21-year-old into the blue corner. He's actually the higher ranked of the pair against that man, Bachkov, in the red. There's another one that could be a decent bout. Bachkov's got plenty of experience, more than 150 bouts across tournaments in recent years.
يتم عرض أسماء الحكام على
Not unheard of these days, Alex, for
لوحة النتائج.
boxers to have had that many contests. There's so many opportunities, so many tournaments which AIBA do put on, so it is great for the progress of the fighters.
The referee in ring A, representing France, Fatih Madfoua.
French referee, Fatih Madfoua.
Your head up. No, stop it. Make your head go.
Here we go. French referee who was in charge when one of the Qatari boxers produced a surprise in the previous round. And here he is taking charge of this one. Bachkov in the red, Bebetov in the blue. You can see the southpaw. A nice early move that from Bebetov as well. He sort of ducked under the counter shot from Bachkov. Both these men have been to World Championships before. Neither have progressed beyond the second round yet. Bachkov here for the third time.
Bachkov is trying to edge his way in with his front foot before letting the shots go. He knows if he throws a shot out of range, it's likely to miss. So he's just edging in.
Blue, no holding. Turkmenistan, no holding.
It's a pretty competitive first half of this opening round. It carries on like this, it might be quite difficult to score.
Bachkov just landed a quality left hook there from Bebetov, and he's just landed 3 clear shots on the bounce as well, so he's having no problem finding the target.
Yeah, he's aggressive, he's determined, and he looks like he's not going to take no for an answer, Bachkov.
Working the body well when he decides to also. There's a cut.
Smaller man, Bachkov, but he looks strong.
He does.
Slight cut to the side of the left eye, I think it is, for Bebetov.
I like Bachkov's tactics, the way he's not firing in until he's in range. He's just creeping in and then letting the shots go.
And generally he's throwing 2 or 3 punches, isn't he? He's making sure that he carries on. They're going to take a look at this again. The blood continues to seep out of that cut to the left. It's not in his line of vision. I think the French referee just signaled to one of the judges that it was a punch.
He has landed enough clean shots, Bachkov, to believe that. Ooh. Brilliant right hand there, just stepped to the side and landed right on the chin with Bebetov.
End of the first round. Actually, good defense that. Good movement, out of trouble from Bachkov. I suspect he won that.
Yeah, I was impressed in that first round by Bachkov.
Bachkov with the more experience of World Championships. He's been to rounds 1 and round 2 in each of the last 2 renewals in 2013 and 2011. And he had a terrific run at a previous European youth event when he earned a bronze medal in 2008. And he took that on all 3 of the judges' scorecards for round 1.
A little bit longer to deal with that cut there, the Turkmenistan corner.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, Bachkov. He's quite clever at easing into range by extending that front foot.
Yeah, that's all he has to do, and we've seen some orthodox boxers firing in from too far out against the southpaw, and Bachkov will refuse to do that. He knows what he's doing.
Long way to go, but waiting for the winner of this in the next round is the Cuban Toledo. Bachkov can overcome Bebitov. That would be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, well, Bachkov is a similar style to the previous opponent at Atakni, which Toledo just competed against. He's a similar style, but I think he may have a little bit more in his locker, and he can deal with the southpaw a little bit easier, as he's showing now. Being warned about his head though, Bachkov. He needs to be careful.
Leading with a right hand to the body now, Bachkov. He's brimming with confidence. There was a lead right hand that sneaks over the guard. Corner have done well with that Bebitov cut.
Bachkov is having good success to the body, and that should be the foundation of his work when he gets inside, because there's more to aim at, and then he can fire off to the head after he's worked the body and get more success up top.
Back. Box.
Inside the final minute of the second round. Good body shot from Bachkov. Inside the final 30 seconds. He got to the quarter-finals of the European Championships, Bachkov.
And a good right hook there again, Bachkov.
And it's the quarter-finals that beckon for the winner of this one again.
Head up. No, you. Head up. Step back.
I don't think Bebitov agreed with the referee.
Box. Stop.
The referee very alert to the different rings and the bells that went off very close together from rings B and A. Just slightly before B. That's why the boxers just hesitated. And another Bachkov round. David, he's very much in control.
Yeah, he is. I think the first round was more successful for him in regards to punches landed, accurate punches landed. But still, he done enough in that round to take it.
Well, Bebitov, who's having his 99th bout this afternoon, one away from that century, but if he's to enjoy the milestone in these championships, he's going to have to produce something pretty special in this third and final round coming up.
No, fast. No holding. Head up.
Here we go then, into the third and final round. Ivanez Bachkov of Armenia in the red, with Aziz Bebitov of Turkmenistan in the blue. It's an aggressive start from Bebitov.
Yeah. Could leave himself open while he's lunging in. Bachkov just easing away from the attacks with his feet.
Bachkov throws such short, powerful punches. They don't travel much distance, but every one is loaded up.
Yeah. He's committing with each shot, and he's really putting his weight behind it by turning him to the punch from the hips.
It's an excellent left hook to the body there from Bebitov, though. He's got to be careful. There's lace coming. I thought the referee was going to give him a warning there for that little playful tap on the head.
He's being warned about keeping his head up, so he does need to be careful. All that good work could go to waste if he gets a warning.
Yeah, but that's worth illustrating. We're Bebedov to win this round and Bachkov to have a point taken off for a warning. Suddenly, you've got a tight level fight.
Good round for Bebedov. Really come out firing. Watch your heads there, I think.
Just over a minute to go then in this final round.
I don't think Bebedov carries the power to really put a dent in Bachkov.
Launched into a couple of those hooks. I think they're both happy to have a slight break.
Frantic pace in this last round, as seems to be the case with most contests. Left hook there from Bachkov.
Put your head, Rue. Stop. Put your head.
I think he's got a really good centre of gravity, Bachkov. Everything comes from his core and he throws really solid punches.
Yeah,
Based on neat fighter, isn't he? Neat boxer.
And his feet are solid, planted into the ground, but he's not flat-footed at the same time. He can move them a little.
There goes the final bell. And good final round that for both men. Bachkov, though, were the better of it through rounds 1 and 2, and that's likely to be decisive. The other bout on the far side between Sotomayor and Chadi, finishing as well, bringing the result of that one in due course.
The winner in by the way of points. In the red corner, representing Azerbaijan,
Lorenzo Sotomayor, by the way, winning that one over in the other round. So the Cuban now representing Azerbaijan. Big, tall, lanky boxer in the light welterweight division. Here we go.
The winner on points from the red corner, representing Armenia, Hovhannes Bachkov.
Bachkov is through, no surprise there.
No, a convincing winner on all cards and a good performance. I mean, there's more ahead in front of him in Toledo, but for now we can enjoy a good win against Bebedov and he'll be confident going forward.
Tell you what, that's interesting though. Toledo versus Bachkov, what a clash of styles.
Yeah, it's gonna suit Toledo, I think, Bachkov's style. But he works the body really well and he landed some meaty shots there on Bebedov, some really solid punches going in, and I think it'd be a different proposition from Toledo's previous opponent, Atakni.
Here we go then, it's Lopez versus Venko in the next Cuba against Slovenia as we move up to the middleweight division, up at 75 kilograms, and another Cuban, and I'm a #1 seed, Arlen Lopez, 22-year-old, another talent in action. And a slightly pensive look from the Slovenian 22-year-old Aljaz Venko, who's the sole representative for Slovakia at these particular championships. I wonder if a nation like Cuba starts off with expectation of so many medals, so many golds when they come into the championships like this.
Oh yeah, I think every nation will have a medal target before they go. I especially Cuba. And I'd imagine it to be in the region of 5 gold medals if Cuba's history is anything to go by.
There is Slovenia's representative to the championships in the blue. That's Aljas Venko.
Venko looks a little bit wary, but you know he is up against it. There's no doubt about that. But he's here. He's the sole representative for Slovenia. He's got everything to gain, so he should go out there and enjoy this.
Yeah, that's right. Apologies if I said Slovakia. Slovenia. Aljas Venko representing here. It's like we talked about previously, isn't it? How do you view a bout like this? Do you view it as an opportunity, or are you daunted by the challenge? That's what this man in the blue corner has in his sights. Another Cuban #1 seed, another southpaw. How good is this one, Lopez?
You see, Venko is not likely going to commit too much this early because he doesn't want to be countered by Lopez. He looks slick, fast hands.
Yeah, I know there's some movement. By and large, early on, Lopez is happy to stand in front of Venko and have a look.
Well, in this situation with Venko's hands just up at the side of his head, it's like hitting a heavy bag, but there is going to be something coming back eventually, like now.
So far in 2015, Lopez has won both the tournaments that he's entered into. And he's switch hitting.
Yeah, it looks as though we can just box as well out of the orthodox sense as the southpaw. So maybe he wants to start landing his jab by switching to orthodox. That big right uppercut as Venko's advancing. Venko needs to be wary of that. That's a nice little bit of movement, wasn't it, Alex? Stepping from orthodox to southpaw and throwing a punch at the same time.
Lovely shot to the body there. Yeah, he just stepped across naturally as if he was taking a walk.
Venko having a good go while he's up close though. Good effort to the body from Venko with the left hook.
Yeah, he's showing a bit of grit here because he's been up against it through the first couple of minutes.
Lopez looks like he's happy to stand in and trade and work on a few things, if anything, and he's probably treating this like a bit of a sparring session without being disrespectful to Venko, but Lopez really does look the part.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I mean, because we saw a little bit of movement. You can clearly move. Just interested to see whether he's employing those tactics just because the man is in front of him, or whether he would be one of the less mobile Cuban boxers.
Yeah, he may not feel the need to move away so much from Venko as he might not view him as much of a threat, but if he had someone in front of him, like a tough Russian or a big punching opponent, then that may make him alter his mindset.
He swept the boards there. The three judges for the first round there. He missed with that right uppercut, Lopez, but he's in control. Looks like he's enjoying himself already.
That was that little step across which we noticed earlier on. Step from orthodox to southpaw and thrown 3 jabs which landed on the target.
He's only 22, Lopez. He fights with the composure of an older man.
Yeah, it surprised me to hear that he's so young. He does look so at ease and calm, but I'm surprised because Cuba do produce these talents year in, year out.
Here we go then. Arlen Lopez in the reds. Even number 1 seed. Starts off in the southpaw position again, as he did in the first round. Switched naturally and easily a couple of times throughout that first round. It was a round he was able to control fairly comfortably. And you can see Venko actually trying to apply a bit of pressure. He's a little bit more intent in his step early on in the second round.
Good effort there from Venko, but Lopez technically is so correct and well schooled. I mean, you'd struggle to find many top-level professional boxers with the technique that someone like Lopez has.
Yeah, and he looks fairly solid. He doesn't waste much, does he? He's very, very tight and economical.
Put a bit of weight behind that right hand then as well, just to let Venko know he can punch as well.
And Venko's got ability, just up against a guy like this. There's a seeming mini golf in class between them. He's won a sort of junior national title, a youth national title, and he's just taken a senior title as well.
Yeah, Venko will probably give a lot of good boxers and arguments, but which, you know, he's giving a good account of himself right now. But I think Lopez is on another plane.
I'll tell you what, David, as well, as we head inside the final minute of the second round, he looks pretty big for a middleweight.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, actually, Alex. Yeah, he is a big middleweight.
And he's a classic middleweight. Just look, right, you know, his thin legs round the waist, and then he just goes up like a triangle.
Yeah. Look at his head movements as them punches are coming through. He's just slipping from left to right. And he's so comfortable doing it.
This guy looks a complete natural. In a way, Toledo, who we saw earlier, was quite a precise technical boxer. This guy just looks a natural.
Yeah, he does. Southpaw, orthodox. Great defensive moves.
There he goes to southpaw again. You hardly even notice the transition.
And it's like you said, it's not like he's moving his feet a lot, but he probably can if he has to. But he's more solid, honestly. He's taking little steps from side to side, and it's almost a more professional style, if you like.
Yeah,
and it really looks the part.
Absolutely. This is good. Really good stuff. And a tough assignment for Aljas Venko. And you can see, looking at Lopez there, he's not taking much. I know he's having things his own way, but he's thrown a lot of punches. He's not taking much out of himself. That says a great deal for the kind of style and the way he goes about it.
Yeah, I think relaxation is the key when it comes to that. If you can stay relaxed, you're going to expend less energy, and he's nice and calm in there. You can see that. His body language.
Here we go then. Confirmation on the scorecards that Lopez dominated again. He is clearly up on all 3 scorecards, 2 rounds completed.
This fella, look how technically correct he is. If you was going to tell a young boxer to watch someone in the amateurs to see how to go about your business in a correct and technically correct fashion, then you wouldn't have to look much further than this fella in the ring now.
Interested to see him up against maybe a faster, slightly bigger, maybe more aggressive boxer.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this could be Lopez boxing within himself, or because he, in his eyes, he might have fantastic in front of him. He can treat it as a little bit of a training session, and that might be why he looks so good. But yeah, obviously he's got bigger tests ahead, of course, but you know, his technique is spot on.
Well, we gave the Cubans the big up at the start of the show earlier on, and the couple that we've seen so far, the top seeds, haven't disappointed. Toledo, we saw a win earlier on in the light welterweight division, and here this Arlen Lopez up at middleweight. It's quality all the way. I think the fact that Venko's got such a good defense means that it's keeping him in the fight, and Lopez is not able to put him down.
Yeah, it's helped Venko that he's had his gloves tight, and it begs the question as well that, you know, if Lopez faces someone who's more willing to exchange and throw attacks with him, will we see even more from him? Because you can only hear what's in front of you, and a lot of the times the gloves in this instance.
Yeah, potentially Lopez has had an opponent in there today who's a good template to make him look good, to showcase his talents. Maybe that's the way. I'm not saying he's flattered, but maybe.
He is the perfect style for that type of boxer, Venko. He suits Lopez's style down to the ground.
And great credit to Venko, because he's been running up a hill right from the start of the opening bell, and he's kept going. He's taken his licks. He's still trying to have a go. Now look at that for class from Lopez. Three-punch combination, ducked under the counter, and away and gone. Oh, that was a terrific performance from the Cuban. The number one seed, that was an excellent shot, wasn't it? There of the opponent's coach, just mesmerised by what they've seen. He wasn't even in the ring.
Again, another one. I think I'd expect Lopez to have a great shot at gold here, and it's good. It's interesting actually to see that he's still pretty young. A big career ahead of him.
Yeah, 22 in the middleweight division, and he looks like, judging by the size of him, he looks like he could go up to light, if he's sticking to these sort of elite senior tournaments, he could go up to light heavy, no bother at all.
Yeah. He isn't even breathing heavily after that performance.
In ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Cuba, Arlen Lopez.
Yeah, just a day at the office for Arlen Lopez. He's hardly got a bead of sweat on him. He's certainly not out of breath. He's a class act. We look forward to seeing him at next. And you can see he dominated the scorecards, no surprise. In the other ring, by the way, as you see some of the highlights, and it was a real show reel there from Lopez. It's been a success for Egypt. Max van der Paar, the Dutchman who we saw the other night, has been beaten by Hossam Abdin. So Abdin goes through to the next round as we await for the next bout in this middleweight division.
السيدات والسادة، المباراة الثامنة على الحلبة ألف، وزن 75 كيلوغرام.
The next event in ring A is a 75-kilogram middleweight bout.
في الركن الأحمر من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية.
In the red corner, representing the United States of America, Anthony Campbell.
I'm looking forward to seeing Anthony Campbell, the American. in action here.
بالرجل الأزرق من
Man from
الإكوادور.
Tennessee up
In
against
the blue
an
corner,
Ecuadorian, and that's Mario Delgado.
Delgado Suarez.
He's the Ecuadorian, one of 3 representing Ecuador. We've got essentially an American Confederation Championship matchup here between the pair of them. So Campbell versus Delgado, and Campbell, David, only one of 2 Americans left in the tournament. A bit of weight, a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on him to keep the team over in Doha. Himself and Joshua Temple, but yeah, this is going to be interesting because is this going to be Lopez's next opponent, the winner of this contest?
Yes.
Alex, yeah, so it's going to be interesting for that reason as well.
And in the other ring, Jablonski, the number 4 seed, up against the Indian Vikas, who had a really good win in a terrific fight. The fight we saw the other day against the Hungarian Zoltan Harsa. That was a really good affair, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a really exciting fight to watch.
And in the end, Vikas, he earned his stripes that night. He's about to face the number 4 seed from Poland, Jablonski. So we'll give you the news on that one. Of course, we've got 2-bout coverage available on the internet. That's via AIBA.org, where the first championships, world championships in boxing, simultaneous bouts being covered in vision. We're, though, giving you pictures from this one, Campbell versus Delgado, with live commentary from me, Alex Steedman, and David Price, professional heavyweight who's been to these events, championships and tournaments on many occasions. Here we go then. American Campbell in the red up against Delgado, the Ecuadorian, in the blue.
Campbell looks nice and relaxed in the opening stages, even though it's Delgado taking the initiative so far. But Campbell looks calm and he's just taking a look.
Another switch hitter as well, Campbell.
Yeah,
Look out for that.
Plenty of them at this tournament.
The Ecuadorians on a bit of a run. They'll know each other from the same confederation, but it was Delgado who went as far as the final, got a silver medal in the 2015 American Confederation Championship. He's on a bit of a roll, and he's come out quite aggressively in this one.
Yeah, he's straight on the front foot, and Campbell's looking to land the counters, but it's a matter of a waiting game, trying to draw each other out.
He's boxing confidently, Campbell, but he's not doing much.
No, he hasn't done much of it at all yet, Alex. He's going to have to throw caution to the wind soon and at least step up with a couple of jabs. This negativity won't go down well with the judges.
Certainly not on what we've seen so far today and in the tournament so far. There's a good right hand from Delgado.
Don't hold, don't hold.
I like the look of Delgado, he's long, he's happy to come forward and get that jab out.
Stop.
Just falling over himself there, Delgado.
Box.
Referee from Kazakhstan.
Right. Step back, guys.
Closing seconds then of this first round. I think it's been a more positive start from Delgado, even though there haven't really been fireworks yet.
Yeah. Not a very eventful first round until the last 10 seconds. Starting to exchange a few blows.
Stop.
And there we go. thought Delgado just did a bit more in that one. See how the judges saw it. Yes, Delgado on 2 of the 3 scorecards, and I mean, I like the fact that Campbell's relaxed, but given it's a World Championship and the quarter-final place is up for grabs, you could maybe argue a bit more urgency required.
Oh yeah, if it was a 10 or 12 round contest, then yeah, by all means start the fight cautiously and relaxed and avoid any attacks, but not when it's a three round bout where so much on the line. I'd like to see him pick it up in the next round.
Find out if he's capable of doing that. He's been to the Golden Gloves, of course, that elite tournament stateside, breeding ground for top quality boxers, and on 2 separate occasions Campbell's come away with bronze medals in that event. Clearly he's got something about him. Can he show us? We see a good example there of the sort of inactivity of Campbell. Delgado was able to lead with the jab, and he still had time to come back and show a little short uppercut with the same hand.
Yeah. So there's no counter coming back, and you're going to go on the back foot, and you've got to be looking to land the counter, and he hasn't really done that yet, although he has just landed a decent right hand on Delgado.
Delgado as well, I mean, he's only 22, the Ecuadorian, but he's got a bit of experience from the new Pro Box tournament as well.
Yeah, I quite like his style, I like his movement, and he's got a good look about him.
And that was a good jab from Campbell.
Campbell's corner are telling him about his work rate. Just here, they need to,
Yeah, they have to. They have to. There's been little cameos. You can see he's confined.
Just needs to believe in himself a little bit more, I think, and trust his fitness, and you know, he needs to get out of that ring having left absolutely everything in there, otherwise it'll haunt him.
Absolutely. There's only a minute left in the second round. I don't know if Campbell thinks this is a WSB event, maybe a longer format. He's won 3 of 10 bouts the last couple of seasons in that particular event, but he's only got another minute plus another round.
It looks to me, to put it simply, that Delgado wants this more than Campbell. I mean, they both know what's waiting for them in the next round. Maybe that may have a factor.
Good point. Lopez.
Good right hand from Delgado over Campbell's jab.
Campbell switch hitting again to southpaw. You see the cornermen living every single second of it from outside the ropes. Well, there was the odd eye-catching single punch from Campbell. More effort from Delgado. I wonder how the judges saw that one. Again, 2 of the judges saw it one way and 1 another. So it's a level bout on 2 scorecards, and the other judge has given both rounds to Delgado. And interestingly, both judges A and B have seen the same bout, but the other way round. So they've seen rounds 1 and 2 for either fighter completely the other way round.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're viewing this one. But for me, Campbell needs to put his foot on the gas, or he's gonna have massive regrets about this.
Yeah, very much so. All Delgado has to do is win this round on one of judges' A or B scorecards. That's all he has to do. Easier said than done, of course, but his approach so far has been excellent.
Delgado's making Campbell pick all the time by feinting to the body and coming up to the head with a jab, and he's constantly threatening to do something, even though he isn't actually following it up. It's making Campbell think.
Watch the head, guys. Watch the head.
I mean, Campbell may yet pull it out of the fire, but it's just been so little from him, by and large. Sense of urgency. No one's suggesting you have to fight like a maniac every single minute of every round.
Oh, it was like a boxer we seen yesterday, wasn't it? Who had that laid-back appearance about him, and he was so laid back, but it bordered on looking like he was lazy. The coaches have the same opinion of us. He needs to pick it up.
I think they're getting frustrated with him, aren't they? And I think there was a real sense of urgency from the American corner.
And you can understand the frustration, because it is a winnable fight for Campbell. Delgado, I do like his style and the way he carries himself, but I think Campbell could be good enough to beat him.
And just caught him with a little counter right hand there, Campbell.
Just left hook from Delgado there as well.
Yeah, right hand as well. Campbell had his one success in and amongst that flurry from both of them. Well, I'd be pretty sure the punch stats would back up that Delgado has thrown an awful lot more, particularly in this final round.
Just wants it more, it appears to me.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. In a bout like this, where maybe there's not that much between them in terms of ability, that can be the crucial, decisive factor.
Good elusive work from Delgado then as well. Some nice work, nice moves.
Both landed there. Closing seconds. Finally, Campbell's on the front foot. Is it too little, too late? Good left hook there from Delgado. Surely the Ecuadorian's just done too much. The busier fighter throughout. And we go to the scorecards.
I think the American corner were frustrated with Campbell throughout that contest. They obviously know what he's capable of, having trained him and seen what he can do in the gym and in previous bouts. And I just think he could have put a bit more into each round.
You'll know as well as anyone, David, as a boxer, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be absolutely brutally honest about it. Sometimes you'll be beaten by a better man, and it'll happen, and you just have to take that on the chin. But I think whatever happens here, Campbell needs to have a look at what he did here tonight.
There's no worse feeling than being beaten by yourself. And I think if Campbell doesn't come out on top, then he's only got himself to blame.
Here we go.
السيدات والسادة الفائز بالحلبة ألف.
In ring A, the winner on points from the blue corner, representing Ecuador, Marlo Delgado Suarez.
Marlo Delgado gets it. No surprise, I don't think at all. Certainly, Campbell made it tighten up on the scorecards in the end. But he deserved that, David.
Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. And Campbell's trainers, the coaches in the American corner, they're going to have to have a bit of a post-mortem after that fight and decide what went wrong, because they've come all this way, and I think Campbell was a little bit guilty of not leaving it all in the ring then.
Very fair assessment. Vikas, by the way, the Indian, has overcome the number 4 seed, the Paul Jablonski. That's a big win for India. Vikas, he's got a bit about him. We saw him earlier on. We're likely to see him again on your screens.
Yeah, I like the look of Vikas as well. He was impressive on the first day, so he's just had another good win. Got a good style to watch, aggressive, southpaw. Look forward to seeing him go again.
The next event in Ring A is
we've got an excellent couple of bouts coming up for you to finish the afternoon session before this evening's entertainment, and potentially one of the best boxers at these championships, making his ring entrance now, the Cuban number 1 seed, Erislandy Savon. He'll go into the red corner from a famous fighting family with a rich tradition. He's got bags of ability,
in the blue corner,
and he's up against the
Julio Castillo,
Ecuadorian Julio Castillo, 27-year-old, into the blue corner. And we've just seen one Ecuadorian secure himself a quarter-final slot. Can Castillo follow him? We're about to find out. Savon has just walked past us with a deal of purpose. He looks like he means business. And there goes Castillo. Two big men.
Yeah, Savon is a big 91-kilogram heavyweight. He competed at super heavyweight in the London Olympics, so he's big for the weight.
And he just vaulted the top rope.
Yeah, he's a big man, as was Felix Savon. Really big for heavyweight.
Yes, he's the nephew of the 3 times Olympic gold medalist. There he is. By the way, in the other ring going on right now, Yamil Peralta of Argentina up against the German Roman Press. So we'll keep you posted on how that one unfolds. Here we go then, looking forward to this one. First glimpse of the number 1 seed from Cuba, Erislandy Savon. See immediately, slightly leaner and taller. He's got the range, Ecuadorian southpaw in the blue.
Edging in nicely there with his feet, Savon, before letting the shots go.
He finished with a left hook to the body, and that just forced Castillo, just stuck his tongue out, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Castillo will obviously know he's up against it today, but he'll have his tactics, he'll have his stall set out and what his plan is to cause an upset. So far, obviously moving around, circling the ring, making Savon follow him. But Savon just stepping across, as you see there, to cut the ring off. He's not following his opponents around the ring.
Yeah, he's another boxer, a bit like Lopez. He moves with a degree of efficiency and method. And that's the sort of thing that just comes naturally. It's almost like you've got the geometry of the ring worked out in your head without actually having to look and do it.
Yeah, excellent ring craft, as Lopez had.
Savon just forcing Castillo onto the back foot. So at the final minute, you can see Savon's using all the tools that he's got at his disposal.
Savon, from what I've seen of Savon in the past, he's a great back foot boxer, as all of the Cubans. But this is asking for something a bit different. I think he's just hurt. I think he hurt the Ecuadorian then with the right hand. He grimaced, pulled a bit of a face.
Stop. Boxing.
The referee's asking Torres to engage a little bit more.
Yeah, you can understand why he might have been put into his shell. This has been a dominant round from Erislandy Savon, and Castillo has been on the back foot all the way throughout.
Stop.
Just about the only punch he nearly connected with that right hook the whole round. Dominant performance that. And on one of the judges' scorecards, pop those up on screen for you almost immediately. I think on one of the judges' scorecards, that's a 10-8. In fact, two of them are 10-8 rounds.
Castillo, he's reluctant to commit for fear of what will happen when he moves his hands from the side of his head, and because Savon's got the speed to make him pay, he's not willing to commit, and that's why the referee just give him a little telling off, asking him to engage a little bit more. But yeah, like I was saying before, Savon, he's got something a little bit different in front of him, where he's having to be on the front foot. He is a really good back foot boxer, but he obviously can go forward, judging by this performance so far.
He's leaning back on the ropes as if it's his house, and he is hardly breathing at all. He's very much doing this as he wants, arguably almost in first gear at the moment. You touched on that Olympics. He may be a bit unlucky to go out in the first round to the eventual gold medalist Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hotly disputed decision, that one with Joshua, and I mean obviously Joshua's going through the pro ranks like a hot knife through butter, so that just goes to show the talent Savannah's.
Very much so. Now we're seeing a bit more from Castillo. The corner have given him a bit of a wake up. Savon has been to World Championships so far, 3 of them, but only a quarter-finalist every single time he's been, so real incentive for him to progress all the way.
You could count on one hand how many punches Castillo's thrown so far, and you know, while you can understand his reluctance, you've got it on the other hand, you've got to think it's a World Championships and it's a massive opportunity, so you know, let's go for it type of thing. But it's easier said than done.
A little short counter there from Savon, but it's not as if Castillo's been sort of counter-punched every time he tries. It's just not, he's not necessarily tried.
Not enough ambition from Castillo, and just in the same regions. So maybe he's had a bit of a beating before from Savon, and he's been put in his place, and this is how he's going to go about his business.
By the way, it probably wouldn't make any difference anyway, but as David said, you're in a World Championship, you want to have a lash.
Yeah, I mean, if it means getting carried out the ring, then at least you've had a go. But I don't think that'd be the case, so I think he needs to believe in himself a little bit more and just push on, and yeah, even try anything like that. He's just landed the right hook there.
Yeah, that was better. He had a goal with a big looping left hand before that. A bit more ambition from him, and he's starting to throw some punches.
Nice straight left there from Savon. Real solid jab.
Yeah, that was a hurtful punch, wasn't it? Just as we saw some ambition from the Ecuadorian. End of the first round. Sorry, end of the second round, I should say. much like the first, although a little bit more from Castillo at the end of it.
Is that straight left we've just seen, and textbook, solid, come off a lead right-hander first and come through like a reverse 1-2 if you like.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stay in your seats following the final bout of the session as we have a special appearance scheduled with boxing superstar Manny Pacquiao.
Confirmation of the scorelines here. 4 points in 2 of the judges' scorecards, and quite a few fans that have come here today are going to be treated to the presence of Manny Pacquiao after our final bout of this afternoon's session, which is coming up after this one.
Final round.
Well, the appearance of Pacquiao already inspiring. Rogan Ladden earlier on today, knocking out the Mexican #1 seed, I should say, in our very first bout of the afternoon at light fly. Here we are, the second last of the afternoon session up at heavy, with Erislandy Savon in control, dominating the scorecards, and Ecuador's Julio Castillo. Mind you, we're talking about the big men. One punch.
You can never say never, although you would have to say it is unlikely.
Certainly looking that way in what we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's been pedestrian paced, and you can probably see better spars in the gym, and that's no fault of Savon's. It's obviously down to Castillo's reluctance to engage into a fight.
Savon's not had things all his own way in the tournaments, the couple of Pan American tournaments he's been involved in so far this year. Silver medals in both of those, but he is used to winning, and 9 out of 9 wins in the WSB in the latest season underlines his quality. He was the Boxer of the Year in 2015 for that particular event.
Yeah, so he's stepping up to the plate then, isn't he? I mean, if he's only got to the quarterfinals of the World Championships in the past, I'm not sure what the draw situation was, but you've got to wonder, is he been underachieving a little bit? But judging by them results for 2015, he's stepping up and performing how he should be.
He's certainly got all the tools and the ability, and he's used at his advantages in this one. And he's done it all at his own pace.
Yeah. Again, we'll see the best of Savon, as with a couple of the other Cubans, when they've got more ambitious opponents in front of them.
Stop! Hands up. Box.
The referee Denis Popov, the Russian, not really had much to do. I wonder if he's enjoyed what he's seen. There goes the clap. Nearly over this one for Julio Castillo. And they touch gloves, and Castillo knows that he's just been beaten by a much, much better man. He shakes his head, he nods in approval, says thanks to the referee. He looks pretty dejected.
Yeah, Castillo probably was given the news about the draw and probably rolled his eyes.
I'll say. Went back to bed.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And there goes the big Cuban. Well, we wondered what to expect from him. I think we half expected a dominant performance, and that's exactly what we got in the end.
إذن الفائز بالنقاط على الحلبة ألف
In ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Cuba, Arislande Savon.
Savon wins it. He dominates. And he'll fancy his chances, I suspect, of getting at least to the final.
Yeah, coming off the back of the season he's had in the WSB, he'll be confident of going all the way at this tournament, but we've yet to see all the heavyweights, so we can draw an opinion on that more when we've seen the others.
Well, we didn't see Peralta, Yamil Peralta for Argentina, but he has just beaten Roman Fresh, the German, over in ring B. So Peralta and Savon through to the quarterfinals. They're the same half of the draw. They're separated in the quarters, so potentially they could meet in the semi-finals. And you, of course, can check the full updates on the draw schedule and indeed boxer profiles on AIBA.org as we go along. Next up, Rustam Tulaganov.
In the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Rustam Tulaganov.
And here comes Tulaganov. And he's our final bout of the afternoon. And up against the Kiwi.
In the blue corner, representing New Zealand, David Nyika.
And New Zealander, David Nyika. 20-year-old. What an opportunity this is for him. He's up against another one of these talented Uzbek fighters. Such strength and depth, that squad at these championships. We've seen some real quality from the Uzbeks. Rustam Tulaganov is the elated off them. Over in the other ring, by the way, Chua Buladanadze, the Algerian, who we saw just the other day, is up against Azerbaijan's Abdelkadir Abdullahian. Give the result of that one. As we have it. Here we go then.
The judges assigned to ring A are now displayed on the scoreboard.
Tulaganov in the red. Nyika in the blue.
The referee in ring A representing Turkey, Emre Aydin.
Turkish referee, Emre Aydin.
No low blow, no holding, okay. Shake hands, good luck.
Referee with the instructions. Here we go then. Tulaganov versus Nyika.
Round one.
First thing you see, good bit of movement from Nyika, both attempting feints to draw the leads from their rivals.
Yeah, Nyika moving well. Tulaganov just moving his head as he's trying to advance into range, just to try and disturb Nyika's movement.
A couple of meaty hooks coming in there from Tulaganov.
Break! Stop! Break, step back. Box!
Punch on the break there from the Uzbek.
Really loose style, Nyika, low hands, moving his feet. Needs to make sure his hands up when he's in range though, because Tulaganov looks like, well, he's a 91 kilogram heavyweight, he'd definitely be able to punch a little bit at least.
Yeah, Nyika's on a real good run of form at the moment. He's won. Oh, big right hand there from the Kiwi. He was successful at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow last year. Won each of his last 5 since then. 7 out of his last 7, including that success when gaining gold last summer. He's on a right good roll. No wonder he started so confidently.
He's confident. He's sort of unorthodox style for a big man, especially.
It's very much based on reactions.
Holding. Holding. Right.
Talaganov getting a bit reckless with his attack and just swinging and hoping it'll land, when he could be a little bit more methodical with the way he's going about it.
He's got a bit of a puzzle in front of him. It's a really interesting one.
Holding.
Very wild swings coming in from Talaganov.
Boxers making each other miss at the moment, and not much clean being landed. That's where Talaganov needs to keep Naika is on them ropes.
Yeah, it was a bit scrappy, wasn't it, that first round? So raw aggression from Talaganov and a bit more skill from Naika, but not many punches landed. Look back at some of the highlights. If you can hear the roars, I think that's from the Algerian fans. The other bout in ring B is a bit of a war. Bullet and It's is creating havoc. That's why all that noise is coming from that side of the stadium, which just gives it an idea of how much of what it'll be like on finals night.
Seconds out.
Yeah, the atmosphere is going to be electric in here.
Holding. No holding. Okay.
Here
Round
we
two.
go then, into the second. Round one, all the way in favour of Rustam Talaganov. Even though there weren't really that many clear-cut punches landed.
So not much between them. Again, another difficult one to score when not comprehensive getting through from each fighter.
Box.
Talaganov lost in the quarterfinals of the last World Championships, but that was against Tashenko, who I think is out in action later on tonight. He's a real talent.
Holding. Holding. Stop. Box.
In fact, Tashenko fights Temple later on tonight. Josh Temple, who won by knockout. So you see that later on with us. Here in this one, pretty close between Talaganov and Naika.
It's a good right hand from Naika as Talaganov advanced, and now good left hook as he pivoted off to the side. So Naika starting to have a bit of success, but really has got an unorthodox style.
Smile from Naika there as he just manages to dart away from a right hand.
Oh, good right hand, that.
No, it's not given, not
No.
counted.
Looked like a legitimate one to me. Countered him with a short right hook as he fell over his front foot there, Talaganov. So Naika might consider himself a little bit unlucky there.
Holding.
Maybe it's just a...
Holding. Right.
The referee only now saying break. That right hand from Talaganov was allowed.
He's got a deceptive defence. He looks like he should be easy to hit, but he moves himself out of range from Naika's jab really well. That's why Naika's jab isn't landing as much as you'd think it would.
And he's on the front foot now, Naika. Can he square this bout up? Closing seconds off this middle round.
Really going for it now, Naika. That was a decent round for Naika. I'm sure that the judges will agree. I mean, again, it's all in favour of Talaganov, and again, it's down to what the judges prefer, and it is beginning to. There's a pattern developing. It's the boxers who are on the front foot seem to be getting the favour.
Yes, even although there might not appear to be much between them. I wonder if some of these teams are going to take that into account as the championships progress.
Second down.
Well, I don't know if Erislandy Savon is back in the changing rooms watching this one live, but he didn't sweat in the first fight. I don't think he's going to be too concerned about what he's seeing here.
No, the thoughts over. One thing you can guarantee is that Naika or Talaganov will put up a fight.
Yeah, and different styles, very different styles. Talaganov will definitely have a go, and Naika presents a slightly different puzzle.
Landed a good left there, Talaganov, and Naika took it really well and fired back straight away.
He's fighting aggressively now. I think he knows what's required.
Holding. Stop. Hey, boxer. No holding, no holding, no more. Box.
Talaganov aggressive, but missing with a few of those punches.
Landed a good left hand there again. And Naika, like I've said and I'll keep saying, really has got an unorthodox style. So you can understand why it's been difficult for Talaganov to land a lot of clean punches. Into the last minute now, and Naika still pushing on with intent. Talaganov, like I said before, he's got a way of avoiding Naika's onslaught and steps out of range.
Closing minute, yes, here we go. David Naika looking to lay it all on the line. Can he get that big punch, that one big punch that would turn it around for him?
Shot by Naika there. He's left it. It's a little bit late now in the day to pull it back, but he hasn't stopped trying.
And worth remembering as well, Talaganov is number 4 ranked in the AIBA list currently at heavyweight, so he's a guy who was expected to win this.
Naika looks pretty young to me. I don't know how old he is.
20.
Yeah, you can see he's young, and he's good young heavyweight. You don't see many young heavyweights with that type of talent, so he's got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, and a good experience at a World Championship for. By the way, stick around. This is our final bout. Final decision of the afternoon. We're back again at 7 o'clock Doha time later on tonight for another 10 live bouts, although 10 available online from AIBA.org. But we're going to be hearing from Manny Pacquiao, so stick around. That's coming to you very shortly indeed. Manny Pacquiao live interview in the next 10 or so minutes here on your channel. So stick around for that, don't go anywhere. And here we go with the final decision of the afternoon.
إذن الفائز على الحلبة ألف بفارق النقاط.
In ringing, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Rustam Talaganov.
It's a very happy birthday for Rustam Talaganov. He's 24 today. Just what he wanted, David, a passage into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. Good win for him, Naika bringing good form into the bout. And he solved a bit of a puzzle there today, sorry, and he's got to face Savon in the next round, and he'll put up a good fight with Savon, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one, because he will go on the front foot, and we'll probably see the best of Savon in that.
And we're just waiting for the, you can see over on the far side of the other ring, we're just waiting for the final announcement of the evening before that Manny Pacquiao interview comes to you here in the next few minutes on your channel. The other bouts between Chuab Buladanets versus Abdul Kadir Abdullayev. Caught out of the corner of my eye a couple of 8 counts against Buladanets in the second round, so I think that Abdullayev might well be fancied to win that one for Azerbaijan. We'll bring that result for you shortly, and the Manny Pacquiao interview coming shortly.
In just a few minutes.
And the crowd excited to hear from Manny ringside as well. His presence creating quite a stir in Doha today, and it was the inspiration for Rogan Ladden to create a bit of a surprise in our very first bout of the afternoon, unseating the Mexican #1 seed. And just to confirm, Abdul Kadir Abdullayev is into the quarterfinals, courtesy of those 2 8 counts in the second round. And he will face the Argentinian Peralta in the quarterfinals coming up in a few days. We'll have more heavyweight action for you later on tonight, including Tashenko against Temple. Looking forward to that one. We've had quality throughout the afternoon, and we've got Manny Pacquiao coming up. Stick around on this channel to hear from the Filipino superstar. We'll be back live with 10 more bouts for you, and that's coming up later on at 7 o'clock Doha time.
السيدات والسادة مشجعي الملاكمة في جميع أنحاء العالم، يوجد ترحيب بضيف مميز جدا لبطولة العالم للملاكمة، ضيف ملهم صاحب رقم قياسي، فهو بطل الملاكمة ل8 مرات، هو أسطورة حقيقية للملاكمة. رحبوا معنا بالأسطورة ماني باكياو.
Ladies and gentlemen, and boxing fans around the world, please give a very warm welcome to the AIBA 2015 World Championships very special guest, boxing's inspirational, record-breaking 8-time world champion and a true legend of the sport, Manny Pacquiao.
the world is calling out your name.
السيدات والسادة، أهلا وسهلا بكم في اليوم الثالث على التوالي من بطولة العالم للملاكمة دوحة 2015 هنا في استاد علي بن حمد العطية.
Known as the People's Champion, Pacquiao is the first and only boxer ever to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions.
ماني باكياو لقب بمقاتل العقد 2000 في مجلة الملاكمة الأمريكية.
Manny Pacquiao was named Fighter of the Decade for the 2000s by Boxing Magazine of America.
Welcome to Doha. Like your thoughts on what it means to this region to host an event of the scale of the AIBA World Championships, and what your thoughts are on the fantastic infrastructure here.
It helped a lot of in the boxing. This help of Doha, Qatar, and I think I'm really thankful. Boxing world is so thankful for them for making this happen in Qatar.
Do you think this is something of a new horizon for boxing?
Yes, I believe that this is the right venue for boxing, not only in amateur but also in the professional. And I think everybody's happy, and I'm so happy to be here.
What were your thoughts on the stadium when you walked in?
Stadium is beautiful place. And it's very nice to fight here.
And the standard of competition has already been very high. How did it feel to be able to watch your fellow Filipino Rogan Ladon beat Mexico's #1?
I'm tense while watching the Filipino fighting today. So I'm happy because we won the match.
And to meet the rest of the Philippine team.
Yes, I'm happy because all of them are still in the game.
And you and AIBA President Dr. Wu have known each other for a long time and share a deep passion for boxing. How important has Dr. Wu been in the development of boxing since he became president of AIBA?
Oh, Dr. Wu is very supportive in boxing. I'm really thankful that he invited me here to witness the beautiful matches in boxing, and and one of those my fellow boxers from the Philippines. So he's just very passionate in boxing, and he's been friend of us a long time ago.
Last night you made a statement saying that you have one more fight left in your career. You've been linked with a potential fight with your friend Amir Khan, but who would you like your final bout to be against?
It depends. And I'm a boxer, and my job is to fight, and whoever my opponent is, and then I will accept. I mean, one of those, Amir Khan, Marquez, Bradley, or rematch with Floyd Mayweather, and we're working to bring the fight here in Doha.
You think there's a good chance of it happening in Qatar?
Yeah, we're working on that to make the fight here.
That would be a wonderful experience for the country after this championship.
Yes.
And on a more personal level, you took up boxing as a young man, as a young boy, really. Had to mature very quickly on your own. What do you think? How has boxing helped you to become the man that you are today?
Boxing it's helped a lot in my life, and how I help my family is from boxing, and how I learn a lot in being a person, and how I discipline myself. So I learn a lot in boxing. It's helped a lot.
Do you think there's the essence of boxing and the discipline and so on can bring something to the youth and the of this area?
It's very important. Boxing it can help the children to discipline themselves, and not to be a bad person when they grow. So boxing will teach them how to discipline themselves and to work hard, and being a boxer, you will learn a lot, not only in your own, but outside, how you treat others.
So I mean, the sport has shaped who you are today, would you say?
Also, boxing is good for peace and unity and relationship with each other, and from different languages.
And who, as you were growing up, who were your boxing idols? And also, which of your own matches will you remember?
One of my favorite, when I start boxing, one of my favorite boxers is Oscar de la Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Roy Jones, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, and Sugar Ray Leonard.
And obviously, you try to emulate aspects of their style and bring them in. Which of your own bouts will you remember long after you've retired?
Which one?
Which of your own bouts, your own matches, will you remember the longest? Which will live longest in your memory? Of your own, throughout your career, which of the moments will you remember for the rest of your life, particularly?
I think what I have done in boxing, it's all I remember, and the people will remember that.
No specific, a specific match.
All those matches. It's part of my career, part of my history. All the fights, yeah.
Great. And finally, do you have a message for boxing fans in Qatar and in Doha?
Yes. First, I would like to thank to all the organizers, especially the president of AIBA, Mr. CK Wo. I call him CK Wo, and all the organizers. Of course, the government of Doha, of Qatar, and also all the participants and all boxers. Keep focus and keep on fighting, keep on punching, and just discipline yourself. Just don't lose your your focus to your vision, to become a champion, or to become to bring name in your country. So.
And the standard of boxing you've already seen here today, and what do you hope for your fellow countrymen to be able to progress in the competition?
Yes, they have to develop, especially the country like Qatar. They very supportive to their athletes, especially in boxing, and I think the boxers need also to support their own selves.
Right. And a message for Rojan Ladon, a message for him going into the next round. Who you saw boxing today?
Yeah, my message is just keep focused and just don't lose heart, and focus and discipline, work hard.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
سوف نبدأ المباريات التالية في تمام الساعة 7 من مساء هذا اليوم.
We'd like to thank the 8-time world champion, living legend, and international superstar for joining us here in Doha. Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more large round of applause for Manny Pacquiao? Ladies and gentlemen, our next session is scheduled to begin at 7 o'clock.
Kahit nasasaktan ang aking sarili, pilit na itinatago at walang sinasabi. Puso may nagturugo, ya'y di kita ng iba.